Hey, what's going on out there, Junkies? It's Kenshiro. We're back with Culture Junkies Live. We hope you all had a really great holiday. We know we did. Unfortunately, today we're the chat isn't working, so won't be able to see all your messages on top. But we thank you for joining us anyway. We hope that you'll share the video and share it with your friends. But let's go ahead and let's have a really great time. Joining me today is going to be the great Dadakuchi. He's away from his desk right now. He will be back. I promise you, he will be back eventually. He's just not here right now. Let me go ahead and kill this music. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna let it play for a little while. But let's rap a little bit. Let's talk a bit about last year. Last year's 2016 was, boy, I don't even know how to describe it. 2016 was. It was brutal, man. It was brutal insofar as it was rough to be a celebrity in 2016. I have to tell you, they were dropping like flies left and right. Some surprising, some not so surprising. Then we also had career deaths, like we were watching the career death of Ronda Rousey live last Friday. Say what you will about Ronda Rousey. I mean, man, oh my goodness, man, she was getting beat like a drum. Hey, LGZ, what's going on, girl? What's up, Q? What's going on, Marcus Superior Prime? Nice to see you. But man, I have to tell you, yeah, Ronda Rousey, when she got beat, the way she got beat on Friday, that was nothing pretty. I mean, it was like she couldn't even defend herself. Then we had to deal with Mariah Carey. Say what you will about Mariah Carey. Mariah Carey, I think, will be absolutely fine eventually. She's just going through it right now. That whole lip syncing thing, I don't know what to say. She just had a rough go. But she'll be fine. I mean, she's a singer. She'll be able to bounce back from that. She'll blame it on whoever she wants to blame it on, and then she'll just move right on past that. But speaking of the deaths, I mean, we had so many really great deaths from the world of sports. We had Muhammad Ali die. Unfortunately, we also had locally here for us here in Detroit, we had Gordie Howe pass on us, the Mr. Hockey pass on us up here. We also had not so much in the world of sports. We had in the world of music. We had Prince die last year, which was a complete shocker to everybody. We also had, what was another notable death? We had what am I saying? We had Princess Leia herself just die on us a couple of weeks ago. Carrie Fisher had a sudden heart attack and passed away. Then not only 2 days later, her mother passes away. Debbie Reynolds passes away from Singing in the Rain fame. I mean, man, but 2016 was just an absolutely rough year if you were a celebrity. But I kind of want to see, I'll be watching in the chat a little bit. I'm watching on Twitch, I'm watching on YouTube, but I'm also watching the Facebook. So I want to see, how everything was going for you guys. What did you guys think of 2016? As far as not necessarily the deaths, but just some of the stuff that we saw. We had brand new Alan Rickman. Thank you, Mark Superior Primer. Alan Rickman, I think that shocked a lot of us, especially those of us that were hoping to get a sequel to Galaxy Quest. We were waiting for that for years, and you can't have a Galaxy Quest 2 without him. It just wouldn't be right. It'd be like getting the original Star Trek crew back together and not having Leonard Nimoy, who also passed away last year. It's just something that couldn't be done. Speaking of Star Trek, we also had Anton Yelchin die. That also brings up a lot of questions about what's going to happen with the Star Trek movies moving forward. What are they going to do with, not having Chekhov? There's no way they can recast Chekhov, so I don't know what's going to happen. I have to wonder. I do have to wonder what's going to happen. Having Alan Thicke passed late last year was something. Having the Brady Bunch's mom, Carol Brady, passed last year. That was something pretty big as well. But yeah, it was just a lot of deaths that happened. But let's not make it too dour. Let's not dwell on all the deaths that we had. Let's reflect on some of the really big stuff that we had last year. Say what you will, we all know how we feel about that particular movie. But Batman vs Superman, man, like, Batman vs Superman was a big movie. Love it or hate it, it was a big movie. I mean, hell, I got into an argument on the Facebook group Extraordinary Journey of a Black Nerd. Dudes are still talking about that movie. Talking about whether they've seen it for the second time and just can't believe how bad it was, or just people seeing it for the first time that have avoided it for I don't know how long and are just like, oh my god, this movie was just as bad as I thought, or maybe worse, than we thought it was going to be. Batman vs Superman was, it was the first meeting of Batman vs Superman cinematically. I mean, it was something that we were all waiting for forever. I mean, geez, I mean, what did we want? Well, obviously we wanted something a lot more than what we got. We wanted something more than what we got. That's for sure. And then follow that up, we also had Suicide Squad last year. Suicide Squad, I think, was also really heavily anticipated, especially based off of what happened in the trailer. I think the trailer got us really hyped up, and kudos to whoever cut that last trailer with Bohemian Rhapsody. Whoever cut that, like, really made Suicide Squad as successful as it was. Because when you get to the theaters, I mean, you're thinking Suicide Squad was going to be relevant and it's going to be fun. They're the bad guys, they're the villains, and then you see the movie and you're just like, what can we say? I mean, it just wasn't. It just wasn't what we thought it was going to be. Suicide Squad. I think there were some things that we could take positively from that movie. Harley Quinn was really good. Will Smith was better than I think what a lot of us on the Culture Junkies side thought he was going to be. But he was still Will Smith. Let's not front. He was still Will Smith in that movie. The guy who cut the Suicide trailer should have cut the movie. Fallen Marvel is absolutely right. The guy that cut the Suicide trailer should have cut the movie, but maybe that was a little too tall of a task to ask. I don't know. Moving right along, we also got Civil War, which which was heavily rumored early in the year. Nobody thought it was going to happen, but it did happen. We got Spider-Man in Civil War, and he looked fantastic. I absolutely stole the show. Tom Holland did a fantastic job. Seeing Marissa Tomei as Aunt May. It's on Netflix right now. I think I saw Michael Johnson, who's one of the Culture Junkies in the nation. He's already seen it, maybe I think 3 or 4 times, according to his Netflix queue, sharing to Facebook. We also had the first visuals of Black Panther. Black Panther was, I think, a lot better than some people thought it was going to be. Of course, Megatron being Megatron, he didn't really like it. Well, he didn't really like Chadwick. Let's say, he still wishes it was him. He's my boy, so I'm not gonna necessarily knock him for that. But it was, okay. Q, that's a discussion we can actually have, and we'll get into that right now. Some people love Civil War. Some people really didn't like Civil War. Does Civil War stand up to repeat viewings? I'm gonna have to say no. It doesn't stand up as much as The Winter Soldier does. The Winter Soldier was absolute perfection. Captain Phillips over there on Twitch, how you doing? Welcome to the show. But yeah, Civil War doesn't stand up like The Winter Soldier did. The Winter Soldier was absolute perfection from the Marvel side. I mean, it was just really good. Jardy2K, yo, how you doing, man? Welcome to the show. But yeah, Winter Soldier did not stand. I mean, Winter Soldier was the best Marvel movie I've ever seen. Still, even though we had Doctor Strange this year, Doctor Strange, I think, was exactly what we thought it was going to be. It was a good introduction, but it wasn't going to really blow anybody away. I don't think so. I mean, visually, it was the most trippy Marvel movie I've ever seen, without question. If you didn't see that in 3D, good God, you really missed out if you didn't see that in 3D. What else did we have this year? We had Warcraft come out this year. Warcraft, I didn't see it in the movie theater. And as far as video game movies, I think it was probably terrible. I've never heard anything really glowing about it. Domestically or abroad, I think it did pretty much what we thought it was going to do. But yeah, it is what it is. There he is. He's getting ready to join me right now. The great Dido Kuji. He's got his pipe in right now. Say hello, Dido. He's got his corn pipe in his mouth. Looking like.
Hello, everybody. I'm trying to find a good spot because I am in the process of moving.
Yes, he is.
So I'm trying to find a good spot to sit.
Captain Phillips, thanks for the follow. Appreciate that.
Appreciate that.
Jardy 2K is asking Rogue One or
Passengers.
Between the two?
Rogue One.
Without question. Rogue One.
There we go. Is that good? Is that too close?
It's not too close. You got the light in your.
Too much light?
Yeah, a little bit.
Behind.
But it is what it is.
There you go.
Yeah,
what about that?
Yeah, that's better. That's better. If you can just tune down the echo a little bit, that'd be great.
I don't think I can. Hold on.
You on your phone?
I'm on my tablet. Let's see if this fixes it. On your tablet. Computer's packed up.
The computer's packed up, ready to move. Okay. Marcus Superior.
How about now?
What? He still hasn't seen Rogue One, but you know, hey, Megashawn just saw Rogue One today, so I'm not going to knock him for that. Thank you for the follow, Jardy 2K. Appreciate that. But yeah, let's get back to the, what we were talking about. Doctor Strange was an absolutely trippy film. If you didn't get to see it, you need to see that. Warcraft came out this year. What else will we get in the films?
Deadpool, dude. You didn't say anything about Deadpool.
Sure didn't say anything.
Deadpool, which was one of the best comic book movies this year.
Yes, sir. It was. It absolutely was. I think. Do we want to say it exceeded expectations, or did it do exactly what we?
I think it exceeded because I had no idea what it was going to do. It was coming out of Fox, and Fox is a piece of shit. They don't know how to make comic book movies, even though the movies keep making money because we go see it thinking that they're going to be good. And they're not good.
Yep, absolutely. So we had Deadpool going on, and we're rattling off all these movies. And we'd be remiss if we didn't touch on Jardy 2K asked me Rogue One or Passengers. I haven't even seen Passengers. That's just me.
Passengers. Which one is that one?
Passengers was Jennifer Lawrence and Chris Pratt.
Oh. I don't know. I didn't have an interest in seeing that movie. I'm sorry.
I did based on the trailer. I did, but I haven't seen it. Captain Phillips is asking Prison Break or Breaking Bad. Now I know what the popular vote is going to be.
Breaking Bad for me. I never saw Prison Break.
I haven't seen Prison Break. I haven't seen Breaking Bad. It's on my binge list. But I know everybody's going to say Breaking Bad.
Well, I watched Breaking Bad, so I got to say Breaking Bad because I never watched Prison Break.
Right.
And Breaking Bad was a damn good show.
Yes, it was. So, like I was saying, before I got sidetracked. We also had. Where was I? I was on movies, wasn't I? Yeah, I was on movies.
Yeah, you're talking about movies before we talk about Deadpool.
Yeah, we were talking about Deadpool. We talked about Batman vs Superman, and say what you will, it was a really big movie. We've also had Prison Break is really good. I've heard a lot. It was Breaking Bad. I think before Breaking Bad came out. That's kind of what I've heard. Prison Break is really good, and I know Prison Break is coming back this year. So we'll have to definitely catch up. I'll definitely have to see that. Top 5 movies of 2016. I'm glad you kind of asked. I'm gonna tell the junkies about what's going on with us as a group. I've spent the past couple of weeks that we've been not doing the show. I've spent it hard at work rebuilding CultureJunkies.net, our website. It's up, it's running. If you haven't been there, you really need to go there. I'm very proud of the work that I did on it. I think it's really good. But as a side note, we're doing what we're calling the Junkie Nation Awards, where we are picking the best movies, the best game, the best TV show, best new TV show, best comic book TV show, the hypest moment of the year, and the biggest disappointment of the year. Oh, and anime. Anime of the year. But go to CultureJunkies.net. Here, I'm actually gonna type it right here in the chat, so you can actually go to it right now. But since you asked, the top 5 movies of 2016. The top 5 movies of 2016 are to me Deadpool. Not in no order. Deadpool, Rogue One, Civil War, Batman vs Superman, And my fifth one.
Batman vs Superman.
Look, I said no particular order. Just for.
I'm just surprised that's even in the top 5 because.
Well, look, like I said, say what you will, whether it was a bad film or not, it was still a really big film. It was a big film. And the last one. I'd have to go with Suicide Squad. I liked it a lot more than Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange, I think we can all kind of maybe agree was slightly forgettable. It was still a good movie, but it was just a movie. You know, it wasn't.
I would have picked X-Men Apocalypse over Suicide Squad.
Ooh, I can't do that. I can't.
Yeah, of course not, because it's in that Fox realm. As the last few movies of X-Men, I think they've been getting better. They're still not the best, but again, people who are comic book fans still try to equate it to the comic book or the TV show and say, "Oh, it should be like this." It's not going to be like that. Mm-hmm. It's not. That's their universe.
Yeah,
Apocalypse did seem like he was
a child molester.
Yeah, Charles.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But I would even have picked Star Trek Beyond over friggin' Suicide Squad, dude.
You know what? Let me revise. I will put Star Trek Beyond in my top 5 because who am I taking out?
I would take out Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad was just it would be in the top 10 of this year, but not the top 5. This my honest opinion. Because Suicide Squad, I liked it. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. It was way better to me than Batman vs Superman, but it was just it could. I don't know what it is. Maybe it was the villain. Maybe it was just like the way they threw stuff together. Maybe it was the way I think the movie was edited really poorly, and I didn't like how they were trying to make you care about some of the characters by giving them backstories, like heartfelt backstory. Oh my gosh, this guy had a family and he was just afraid to burn everybody up, and oh my god, and you know, he has a little daughter, but I'm still gonna kill him, be a murderer, but I got a little daughter. I mean, it's like I don't really give a shit, dude. I don't care about the relationship between Joker and Harley Quinn could have been developed in a different movie. It could be like I realize they put him in this movie. And it's like their first introduction for the new MCU, but that relationship could have been developed better in a different movie. That was not the movie for it.
Okay. I'd make the argument that Joker had no place really in that film at all. That's just me. But you know, what else did we have? What else did we have in 2016 that we had to talk about?
Ninja Turtles.
Oh man. Yeah, you know what? The Ninja Turtles out of the shadows. Now we went to go see this movie.
Yeah.
And you know me, I've been very vocal about the new Turtles. I hated the first one. This one I didn't hate as much. I think it was fun. I think it was to the cartoon's sake and but it just still wasn't good. It just still wasn't good.
I don't know. To me, it felt like the cartoon. It really felt like more like the cartoon than the first one did, because they were throwing in references for the cartoon. They threw in the friggin' wagon. They threw in, Krang. They threw in the Technodrome. They threw in Bebop and Rocksteady. Yeah. I mean, everybody who's a Turtle fan, they're not a Turtle fan because of the comic book.
True.
They were the Turtle fan because of the cartoon, and they're the Turtle fan because of the toys. Yeah. And the thing is that no movie that they've done really brought that to us, because the reason why we like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is for the cartoon. This one to me felt like a live action cartoon. They weren't taking themselves seriously. Mm-hmm. I mean, seriously, if you watch it and imagine that it's a cell animated movie with the Turtles and Bebop Rocksteady from the cartoon, nobody had a problem with it. Not one problem at all. They just don't like it because it's live action. I'm like, man, that's bullshit. I liked it
because it has maybe a Michael Bay taint to it.
I don't think it had as many explosions as the first one. I mean, it had a car chase. I think there were some cars blowing up. Mm-hmm. I don't really remember, but I don't think they had too much of that stuff because they're in New York. They're trying not to blow up New York.
Right.
Okay. It doesn't look good.
Okay. All right. Well, then we also had, I don't know, we had some pretty big releases game-wise this past year. We had the PS4 Pro drop, we had the Xbox One S drop, and normally I'm a PlayStation guy, but the PS4 Pro was. And that was a disappointment.
It's just overclocked. Ben Heck, who runs a YouTube channel, of which maybe you may know or may not know about him, he basically fashions things for video games, put things together, makes Xbox laptops, takes stuff apart. He talks to you about it. He's a guy that took apart and helped fix, you could say, the SNES CD that the guy found in his dad's attic. Because he was able to look at it and do certain things with it. Anyway, he took apart a PlayStation 4 Pro, and it was just a beefed up PlayStation 4. And when I say beefed up, it's the same processor. It's overclocked. It has more, I wish I could remember. There's like near the processor, these on the PlayStation regular one, there's like 3 controllers. I forget exactly what they call, where the PlayStation Pro had like 5 or 6 of them. It doesn't have more RAM, if my memory corrects. It does have a better HDMI port, so it can output stuff like that. But it doesn't really output 4K. I mean, the PlayStation Slim or regular PlayStation can output 4K, but it can't do it at 30 frames a second because it has to render 30 frames every second, and the PlayStation Pro can barely do that itself. And it doesn't play a 4K ultra 4K Blu-ray because it has the same Blu-ray player as all the other ones. So,
hello guys, welcome to the stream.
It is a little disappointment in my
It's a bit of a disappointment. I wouldn't buy it, man. I mean, that's just me. I'd hold out for the Scorpio, which I can get all my one-stop shopping, where I give me a 4K player and I give me a 4K gaming system. I'd get that. Unless Sony's probably going to come out with another PS4 before Scorpio comes out. Anyway,
that would be kind of dumb.
It would be dumb, but they have to keep pace. Otherwise, Xbox is going to crush them on the back end. Then we also had Final Fantasy 15 came out this year. I've had a lot of fun. I've had a lot of fun with Final Fantasy.
Yes.
We had Street Fighter 5 come out this year.
That was this year?
Yeah, that was this past year. Yeah, that was this past year. It was in February. It was in February.
Oh wow.
That Street Fighter 5 came out, and say what you will, whether it kind of really stumbled out of the gate. I think
still stumbling, dude.
And it's still kind of stumbling. Akuma just got dropped in the DLC. I've heard in another DLC, Sagat is getting ready to come back. I mean,
see, I heard somebody today on the internet. They use this terminology, and I'm gonna start using it. Man, we grew up on Street Fighter. We love Street Fighter, and don't get me wrong by saying this, but Street Fighter 5 is the Call of Duty of fighting games because it came out and they want you to buy everything. All these characters coming out, you got to buy it. Now, from my understanding, though, I have Street Fighter 5. I haven't played much of it because fighting games are only fun when you play with your buds, and most of the time we don't get together to play as often as we like. But fight money can also get you all that stuff, from my understanding. That's true. At the same time, real money can get you that stuff, and more people are probably just gonna drop the real money and not the fight money.
And that's what they're counting on. That's absolutely what they're counting on.
And that's gotta be yes.
Yeah, it is. I'd much rather them move to a model where they reduce the full price game, and you can buy the optional DLC. Or you can buy the season pass, like they're saying, but the season pass, you see what they did with the season pass. One season pass gets you so much DLC, and then they keep on bringing out more DLC. You gotta buy another season pass in order to get that.
Oh yeah, they're really giving it to us now.
Yeah,
they're really giving it to us.
It's way too excessive. But that's just me.
Another game that came out this year that people had their hopes and dreams on, and they come out and all the gamers kind of friggin' they got all pissed in unison.
Talking about
Mighty Number 9.
Oh man, that's not the one I was thinking, but it wasn't. It wasn't on the tip of my tongue. Mighty Number 9. Yes, they waited for to bring that out for how many years has that been in development?
I think it was like 4 years or something like that in the initial video. I believe it was 4 years. An initial video that came out was not how the game looked. I like Mighty Number 9. All you guys out there in video game land, I don't know what the hell you guys are smoking. If it had Mega Man on it, you guys would be freaking jumping out your goddamn skin.
So you
and
think,
the only reason,
you think it's
it's
because
that
it's a new IP that it gets the hate?
yeah, it's a game where it has tight controls. It's fun. It's challenging. It does have a new gimmick in it on how to get the powers from people, and that's fine. To me, it is not a bad game whatsoever. And once I get my move, I'm gonna be twitching it back again so you guys can see someone who's actually good at playing video games.
For those of you that did not buy it yet, it is super cheap right now. So go ahead and pick it up. I think it's
Fallen Marvel. You're right on top of that. No Man's Sky also did come out this year, and that was disappointing.
That was the one I was actually going to think that you were talking about. That everybody was like saying they saw it and it was like, oh my god, this thing was gonna be great. Oh my god, and they get out and they're just like, this is terrible. Yeah, No Man's Sky. I was hyped for that. And then I don't know if I was watching. Or somebody else played. Somebody else was just like, this ain't the game that I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, I played it for a few hours and I was assuming it was gonna be like an MMO where it's just huge. It is a huge, vast game with all these planets, but all the planets were the same. All the environments were basically the same. You never saw any other players, even though it was supposedly said that you were going to be able to see the players. One person supposedly met on the same planet as somebody else, and they still couldn't find each other. And that was a whole, BS stuff. And then they come out later with some free DLC, which was nice, where you can actually build bases and have robots do the mining for you and some other stuff. But it should be something that you could actually play with people. There should be more than just Sky Pirates. And when I say Sky Pirates, it's just the pirates that are in the in space that will kill you. They don't take anything; they just kill you. And then when you come back to life, you go get your stuff that you died. Yeah, No Man's Sky was the disappointment. Unlike, in my honest opinion, Mighty Number 9, which I had no expectations for. I didn't put any Kickstarter down on it. I didn't do anything. I just bought it when it came out. And I pre-ordered No Man's Sky, and I kind of wish I didn't pre-order that game.
Now, I'm thinking that No Man's Sky was a victim of its own hype. And we've seen that before, where games get talked up, and they were like, "Oh my god, this thing is going to be this, is going to be that," and then when it can't reach those lofty expectations, then it drops like a rock. I think another game that came out, Q was actually in the chat talking about The Last Guardian was like one of those sleeper hits. One of those sleeper hits, but can we call it a sleeper hit when everybody was kind of really looking forward to it?
Yeah, kind of, because I forgot that it came out. I remember when it was being shown for the PlayStation 3 many years ago, and it looked interesting because I loved Eco, whatever the hell you want to call it, and I also liked Shadow of Colossus, even though I didn't put as much time in that game as I'd like to. Regardless of that, they were both really great games from the same the same development team, and it looked great. And then I forgot completely that it was coming out, and I mean, you just told me that it's out. I kind of forgot completely. So it'll be a game I guess I'll pick up when it's really cheap. Yeah. So yeah, I would say it is a sleeper.
Yeah,
most definitely.
Yeah, most definitely. So, to kind of round out the recap, briefly in comics, we saw the Secret War get resolved finally. That was like a super long crossover that Marvel had, and finally saw the end of the Ultimate Universe. We saw Civil War happen. Civil War 2, happen, where they Marvel killed Rhodey. And they also killed the Hulk, Bruce Banner. So we had that happen, but we also had the Assault Rebirth of DC, and DC's killing it right now in comic books. They've actually made people want to read again. They've revitalized their brand. They moved away from they didn't move totally away from the New 52, but I think a lot of the concepts and philosophies that came up with the New 52, they kind of moved away from. Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time this year, we got the great GQ joining us. What's going on, man?
Not too much. I'm hearing an echo with you every time you talk, and your mic is kind of low on YouTube, but that's all right.
I think that might be the feedback from Dido. He's using his tablet.
I got my headphones in now, dude.
Yeah, but we're still hearing it.
Well,
Instead of hear when you talk.
Somebody
hear when I talk.
Somebody almost as awesome as me just joined the call too.
Yep. Who is that over there? I think it's someone that we haven't seen in a while. At least on this show. Anyway.
I know.
We're gonna have to wait for them to show up and make themselves known. But anyway, Happy New Year, my friend.
Happy New Year too. Oh, we scared her off.
Anyway, yeah, Happy New Year. So,
I heard you guys talking about Street Fighter V. I heard that. Fight money is a scam because realistically, if you want to grind, yeah, you'll eventually be able to afford like some of the characters and costumes, but real men spend real dollars.
Real men spend real dollars.
and cut out all the middlemen and just get right to it.
Absolutely. So hey, what did you think of what kind of stood out in 2016 to you? What was like kind of the thing that you'll remember most about 2016, other than the insane amount of deaths that we had this past year?
Well, I have no problem with the deaths.
I
thought that was hilarious to see, like, celebrity after celebrity just dropping like flies, and the rule of 3 in full effect. But Captain America: Civil War obviously was a major standout. Solidified in my mind that the Russo brothers can handle Infinity War with just the insane amount of characters they're going to have on screen. So I mean, I'm definitely looking forward to that. Yeah, I mean, the fact that Batman and Superman, two of the most recognizable comic book heroes in history, in a movie together can't even bank $1 billion. That to me was hilarious. And just goes to further to show that either Zack Snyder doesn't get it or Warner DC doesn't understand that these movies, even though they are comic book movies and can be serious, they still got to have a little bit of fun in there too. Suicide Squad seemed to get it, but it also didn't hit $1 billion either.
That is very true. Absolutely true. And I mean, say what you will about Batman vs Superman, it still was a big film. From the standpoint, like you said, because, and like I even said earlier, that it was the first Batman vs Superman and Wonder Woman. Let's not knock her, even though I know you would. Let's not knock her, because she did appear in the film, and it was first cinematic viewing of the Trinity of DC. It was still a big film. Suicide Squad, some people say, wasn't as good as it could have been, but let's move on.
I'll say this about Suicide Squad real quick. It was better than it was I expected. And I'll say it this way: Will Smith did a very good job as Deadshot. I was expecting him to be, boring Will Smith as he always is in every other movie. So he did a good job there. They nailed Harley, obviously. Margot Robbie did an outstanding job as Harley. Joker was extremely lackluster. I don't care what anybody says. Jared Leto sucked as Joker, straight up. But I mean, when it turned into Ghostbusters at the end, that's where they lost their way. They had a pretty good thing going through the first 2/3 of the film. Then you get to that last third act, and it was just like, eh. So, it's to be expected.
It is to be expected. So to completely wrap it up, in anime we had some pretty good stuff, but I didn't watch as much as I kind of want to. But now that the site is back up, I'm going to make it more of a point to watch more anime and talk about more anime on the website. So let's talk a little bit about what we're listening. It's 2017. It's a brand new year. And I've got an event calendar that I started for, and I've loaded it up with games. Man, this year, as far as movies go, incredible. I mean, for real. Like even this month, like this Friday, Underworld. Kate Beckinsale hasn't been. What's her character's name? I forget her character's name.
Sabine.
She hasn't been Sabine in a number of years. And Underworld is finally coming back. Kobe Pilgrim is over on Twitch. You're not hearing double. You've got a little bit of an echo because of Dido a little bit. So we'll try and curtail that a little bit. But yeah, Sabine is coming back. We've got Vin Diesel as Xander Cage is coming back in a few weeks. I'm actually gonna pull that up and kind of go over what we're going to have as far as movies this year. So why don't you tell me, GQ, what you're looking forward to most this year, at least movie wise?
All right, let's see. Underworld, I really didn't care about. I mean, it's very cool to see Kate Beckinsale back to playing the character. It's very obvious that it's been, it's a 15-year-old character, however long it's been since the original film came out, and she's starting to show her age. So they're cheating it by, turning her hair white and doing some other stuff. But whatever. I mean, she's a cool character. The Triple X Return of Xander Cage is going to be interesting, just in the sense of Vin Diesel in that trailer looks old. So it's like, you're revisiting a character that you haven't, messed with in about 10 years, and yeah. So I mean, and it's like Fast and the Furious has already done everything that you could possibly do in this movie. So what do you have left?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So as far as what I'm truly looking forward to, I mean, Guardians of the Galaxy, obviously. That's honestly just at the beginning of the year. That's about it, and that's not even at the beginning. That's in May. So
that's true. So
movies don't really have my my attention yet.
Really?
Because I mean, yeah, they don't, because it's like a lot of stuff is coming out as sequels upon sequels.
True.
And the sequels that nobody asked for, and it's like stuff that people forgot about, and they decided to do another one like Underworld or Triple X. So it's like, it's comic book movies. Honestly, have basically become the tentpole movies. So it's like
true.
Obviously there's an episode 8, of course.
Buddy, I can't wait for that. I cannot wait for that.
That masterpiece of Rogue One for 20 minutes.
Oh my goodness, that movie was so good.
Yeah. But other than that, I mean, it's like there's nothing major on the horizon that I'm like, oh my god, I can't wait. Except for comic book stuff.
Let me see. Okay, so this month alone. This is just January. We got Underworld this Friday. Amityville The Awakening. I mean, that's another Amityville film. I didn't even know they were making another one. That's coming out this month as well. Split, which surprisingly has gotten my interest. I mean, I think James McAvoy is going to be very interesting in that role, playing the split personalities. That's this month as well. That's the same weekend as Triple X. Then the week after Triple X, we've got the last Resident Evil movie, Resident Evil: The Final Chapter. That's the very next week. Then the week after that, the first week in February, we got Rings, which is the next follow up to the Ring movies. I mean, I'm a Ring fan, so I'll probably end up going to go see it. Maybe I don't know.
Okay, but look at that list you just read. Every movie, with the exception of Split, is a sequel or a bringing it back that nobody was thinking about it. Now, granted, Rings could be interesting because Ring was a good series, a good franchise, both the Japanese and American version.
Yes, but, it was.
It's like all that other stuff was like, dude, really, y'all making another one?
I know.
Amityville, you're making another one?
I couldn't believe it. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. Yeah, but even in games this month, right? So Gravity Rush 2 comes out on the 20th. Dead Effect 2 comes out on the 13th. Let's see. Yakuza 0 comes out on the 24th. I know Dido's going to be
Dido will be all over.
Oh my gosh.
And that's just this month. That's just this month. Like, even later this month, that same day, Resident Evil 7 drops. Now, that demo, I don't know if you played it. That demo was nice. I like that demo. That demo was really good. That was really good.
From what I understand, Resident Evil has a VR component, so
you're
gonna avoid that like the plague.
Whatever, man. No,
you couldn't even play Outlast, and that was like on the screen.
Yeah, I could play Outlast. It got me to jump. That doesn't mean I can't play it. It doesn't mean I can't play it, but I'm looking for. I'll be looking forward to the VR.
I got witnesses.
Okay, yeah, I know you do. I know you do. I ain't got no shame. That's fine. I'll admit that I did it. It got me to jump. Okay.
I got you. No, but okay. Granted, Resident Evil. Here's the problem, and Dido can probably attest to this too. Here's what's going to happen with Resident Evil. It's going to come out like gangbusters, $60. 4 weeks later, it's going to be $30. And it's going to be like,
right?
It's going to be like, seriously?
That's why I'm not buying it.
Now, here's what here's what I'm getting day one though for sure is Tekken 7.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And they better have a collector's edition waiting for me somewhere.
With an Akuma statue.
Isn't that March?
Yes, in March. So I got some time, but I have to have that one.
All right, so let's move forward. Let's move over to February, and then then we won't do the whole year because I'm sure we can save some things. Let's see. Next month, of course, next month in February, we got the sequel to John Wick. We got John Wick 2.
Okay, I forgot about that one. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, John Wick 2. The Lego Batman movie. That's for some people that actually like. I mean, I liked the Lego movie. It was actually kind of funny. So I'm looking forward to that. Let's see. And then Logan is coming out on March 3rd. That's kind of included a little bit in that 4 weeks. And then as far as games go, we've got Halo Wars 2 is getting ready to come out next month. Horizon Zero Dawn also comes out in February as well. So in the beginning of the year, I think as far as Culture Junkies, is what we love to talk about and what we love to be into. It's kind of stacked. 2017 is looking kind of stacked right now. At least maybe it's front loaded. I don't know, but it's looking pretty stacked right now.
It's sequel loaded for sure.
Yeah.
Like I'm sorry, like almost everything you mentioned is a sequel of some sort. Which again,
it's not
for video games especially. Yeah, for video games you have no choice. Right. It's like you ain't gonna drop millions of dollars on a brand new IP that might fail. You're always gonna go back to your bread and butter.
Right. And then as far as movies in March, we can talk about March a little bit, and then we can talk about something else. But we got Kong Skull Island on March 10th. Beauty and the Beast is March 17th. Power Rangers is March 24th. King Arthur's is March 24th as well. I mean, and then Ghost in the Shell is March 31st. I mean, man, come on. We're going to be at the movies a lot this year. We are.
I have no problem with it.
Yeah.
I just some of those is just I'm not expecting very much.
Okay. And you shouldn't. You should. I mean, not all of them are going to be good.
Okay. Which ones do you think aren't going to be as good, Dido? Which ones do you think aren't going to be as good?
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, despite what's going on with Ghost in the Shell, they have yet to get an anime movie right that I can remember. I mean, anybody see Kite? Huh?
No. I still haven't seen it. It was free.
Samuel L. Jackson was in that movie, and Kite was something I think that you should not have been able to mess up, but they did. And I am probably one of the few that was not a big fan of the live-action Rurouni Kenshin movie. It just didn't seem like it was. It flowed well. Yeah, it was a bunch of action scenes. I don't go to movies just to watch a bunch of action scenes. They gotta have character development. It has to have the trifecta. It has to have good acting, character development, and good action. If you got just one of those three, come on now. So
That's
I don't
true.
think
if you just have one of the three, you got Sucker Punch.
Yeah, and Rurouni Kenshin unfortunately did not have all three. So it had good action, but that's about it. Come on now. I mean, if you watch the anime it was TV series, had a lot of character development.
Yes, TV series, of course.
I digress, and that's why I don't like when they take TV series and turn them into movies. Movies are movies, TV series, you can't cram all that in 2 hours. But regardless of that, I don't think Ghost in the Shell is going to be that great, mainly because, first off, you're going to have so many people out there who do not know the story of the Major Kusanagi. Yes, it takes place in Japan, or what we think is Japan, but it's so far in the future. There's a lot of stuff that I didn't even know that I found out looking into it, that it might not even be Japan. They're talking about it's like, if you look at it, it looks more like Hong Kong than anything that's in Tokyo, and they're drinking Filipino beer in the movie. San Miguel, I've had it. It's delicious. But regardless of that, the Major's body is not Asian. And that's probably why they didn't pick an Asian actor. And I understand that hurts a lot of people that they should have got a woman because they had an opportunity to pick an Asian woman. But if they're being true to the manga.
Yeah, it's true to the manga. It is true to the manga.
I mean, her body is not Asian. Her body's white.
It's not.
So
and you know what? I got into another argument this weekend about that very same subject, and I was like, oh, it's a Japanese property. She should have been Japanese. I said, but you really don't know this property, do you? I said,
yeah.
She's not Asian. She may be an Asian soul,
like her
Asian
soul or her brain or whatever it is.
She's not.
But that body she had is not
Asian. It's not. But anyway, they're arguing the ethnicity of a cyborg. I couldn't, man. I just really couldn't.
Yeah.
But
and so I get it, but I don't think that movie's gonna be good.
I could care less. Dollars and cents. Scarlett Johansson's gonna bring more people than
yeah, exactly. And I bet. I agree, and I bet in Japan that's a driving point because she's a name. She's a big time name,
dude. Lost in Translation, she was like that deal. So she's good over there, man. And not only that, you got your Marvel leftover people that this is like a Black Widow movie, but it's not.
Right. Even though we should get one. Although I think Lucy may have hurt her in that department. Maybe
Lucy was stupid. That movie had such potential, and they just down the drain.
I didn't see it.
I'll let you borrow it. You'll probably give it back in within 6 hours.
Visually, that movie was kind of stunning, but story-wise, that thing was really dumb. It was really dumb. I don't even know how to say it.
It's like here's the problem with that real quick. Limitless showed you how cool it would be to be able to use 100% of your brain at all times. That movie took it like, what if metaphysically and metaphorically and you became less human? Man, shut up. I would start if I had powers. Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
the world better watch out.
Watch out. Yeah, exactly. Also in the first 3 months, we're gonna get 2 Kingdom Hearts games. We got Kingdom Hearts 2.8 and the Kingdom Hearts HD 1.5 2.5 remix.
What the hell are they doing to me, man?
They're milking it, man. They're straight milking it. I don't know what to say. They are straight milking it, but
isn't part 3 or whatever it's supposed to be coming out later in the year though?
Hopefully, it's not. It's not on the list, but hopefully it will. I mean, hell, it's been development for 4 or 5 years, it seems like. But I'm hoping to finally get my hands on it.
Wait. Is this gonna literally be Square and Disney?
Yes.
Whatever they want.
Maybe.
So technically, we can have Marvel
and Star Wars.
You could.
And Star Wars.
And Lion King and all together.
You could.
A lightsaber keyblade, I'd kill for one of them things.
I bet you they'll do Star Wars, but I don't think they'll do Marvel.
I think they'll do Marvel too. I think
they could. Doctor Strange.
Yep, they could do Marvel. I think they'll do Marvel. They'll find some way to get Spider-Man in there with Spider-Man and Mickey in one game. Come on, man. How many heads would explode on that?
Yeah.
I love Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah. It'd be cool if they kept it completely under wraps. All of a sudden, all these guest characters just showed up.
Right.
What?
Absolutely.
That'd be awesome.
It would be awesome. But but man, I mean, like I was saying, we've got so many things to look forward to in 2017. 2017 is going to be an absolutely awesome year, not only for us as fans, but us as the Culture Junkies. We've got our website back up. At some point, we're gonna have our streaming over there. That's in the process right now. We want to be able to make it so that a lot of you Culture Junkies out there that like to write and like to contribute to share, you can write your own stuff on culturejunkies.net and have it put it out there for everybody to see and to talk about and discuss. Maybe we even be able to talk about it on the shows, one of the articles that you write. But in any case, do us a favor. Why don't you go over there to culturejunkies.net if you haven't been over there yet? Check it out. Let us know what you think about the new site, and make sure you vote in the Culture Junkie Nation Awards. Now that's coming up next week. So let's preview next week a little bit. I already told you guys about the categories that we're going to have. So let me run down what's in each category if you haven't been over there to check it out right now. And I'll actually even tell you some of the results so far. So for best comic show,
give results.
Not total results, but I can just give you a little bit of hint of who's kind of running away. There's some surprises here, actually.
No, you don't know. They get nothing. They lose. They gotta wait till next week.
Okay. All right.
They can know what the categories are, but they can't know any of the results.
Okay. The categories are, in Best Comics TV Show of 2016, you got The Flash, you got The Walking Dead, Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Preacher, Marvel's Luke Cage, and Marvel's Daredevil. You can probably guess which is in the lead right now. Maybe you can't. I don't know. For Best Game of 2016, We've got Titanfall 2, Overwatch, Final Fantasy 15, The Last Guardian, Doom, which was surprisingly good. I think a lot of people, Doom caught a lot of people by surprise last year. And Uncharted 4, Thief's End, which saw the end of the Nathan Drake story. I think a lot of people were really looking forward to that. Now, biggest disappointment of 2016, you can probably rattle off which ones we've got. When we were over watching the UFC fight, Big Pimpin' J actually came up with number one. He said Martha v. Martha, and that was absolutely one of the choices. Martha v. Martha is one of the choices. A big disappointment of the year. No Man's Sky, Assassin's Creed, the movie, which GQ, you actually went to go see it. What'd you think of Assassin's Creed, man?
I think that they took a look at the back description of the game, of the first game, and thought, hey, we could probably make something out of this. And then that was all they did. And then they just made a movie. I don't think they talked to anybody at Ubisoft. I don't think they asked anybody that's ever played the game. I think they just threw it together and said, hey, this looks interesting. Let's see if we can put Michael Fassbender in there and have him phone in a performance.
Okay.
And let's go.
And the PS4 Pro is also one of the choices for biggest disappointment. And sorry, Dado, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows is also one of the choices. But
hey, it is what it is. People just didn't see it the way I saw it.
Right, and that happens.
Live action cartoon.
Yeah, that happens.
Yeah.
But for the hypest moment of 2016, we've got. I mean, I'm sure you're gonna pick one. I mean, Vader Unleashed and Rogue One. I mean, had to be in there. It snuck in there, but it had to be in there. When you saw what you saw, and it's been 3 weeks since that movie came out. If you ain't seen it, that's on you. But when you see that darkened hallway, and then you hear Vader breathing, and then you see the red lightsaber just light up the hallway, you're just like, oh shit. That's all you could think, man. It just like it's about to go down, and it did not disappoint. Now, obviously, also another hype moment was Kobe Pilgrim's over in Twitch. He said he hated Vader until Rogue One. That tells you something. I don't know how that's possible though.
Hold on, he's gonna have to. You might have to
explain
that.
that.
What do you mean you hated Vader?
Hold on. He said Rogue One.
I bet you I could explain it to him.
Hold up. Rogue One made Vader legit to you?
Yeah. Look, I'm gonna tell you why. Because if you go back and watch the movies, Vader is supposed to be the scourge of the goddamn universe. And in the first original movies, you didn't see him scourging anybody. You see him be a terror to his son, but he didn't scourge in the first one. He didn't scourge in the last one because the only person he fought.
What about the absolute
only person he fought?
People? Are you kidding?
When did he do that? When did he put fear into people?
All the time.
No, not all the time, man. The first movie, he was only in it 12 minutes.
You help me out here, please.
Okay,
oh my god.
Let me explain why Dido has that disconnect, because he didn't watch Empire Strikes Back a billion times.
He can't have. I mean, come on.
Because Vader's fear and the fear of Vader was, completely and utterly like solidified in Rogue One. But if you watch all of episode 5. Like, people were cowering in terror, and he was killing people left and right.
Exactly. And you know why? Because of the stuff you didn't see him do in the movies. The stuff you saw in Rogue One. The stuff you saw if you watched Star Wars Rebels. That's what made Vader scared. People scared him because they knew how badass he was. Because you saw him.
But the Empire came before all of that. And that was enough.
but I'm telling you, Empire, what did he do besides fight Luke? What did he do?
First of all, he killed a dude while having a conversation with another dude using the Force.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, and he was on another ship.
He was on exactly. He was on another ship.
I think that's cool, but at the same time, running down a freaking whole squad fleet of people and freaking by himself and taking out tons of freaking rebels by himself is even cooler. They've never shown that. They just never shown that.
Never shown that again. Okay, I get what you're saying. They showed it, but at the same time, the fact that you have the power to kill people while having a conversation with another guy is hilarious to me.
It was,
and I get everything you're saying, but I'm saying what he saw, because what he probably saw was just like Vader. Like, okay, he doesn't look as scary as you think he is, but then. You start seeing, this is some legit shit.
You finally get to see it. I completely understand that. But again, Empire is almost 30 some odd years. Actually, it's close to 40, just like Star Wars Episode 1 is. I'm
40
sorry,
this year.
I can't.
No, the episode 4 will be 40 this year. But it will be 37 this year. So it's 37 years ago.
Man,
37 years
77,
ago.
right?
Well, that was 77 for Episode 4. So 40
oh yeah,
years ago.
sorry, never mind. You're talking about two. Yeah.
Yeah, Empire came out in 80.
Yeah.
So yes, so 37 years ago, that was what you were going to get. I'm sorry. I mean, that's just,
come on,
you know, it's one of those things that you have, because I've always said that about Rogue One. It's like Rogue One now has made Vader in Episode 4 look really
super
weak.
legit. Yeah.
No, weak. It makes
Really
him look
weak?
super weak,
Oh,
because
yeah,
it's
well, 'cause
like
he
you
didn't
went
really do
from
anything.
that to slow motion.
Right.
So and again, it's the nature of, and I was talking to my brother about this earlier. It's like, it's the nature of the fact that yes, those movies are 40 years old, so that's what they could do back then. And now, you know, now again, it would be outright blasphemy to remake them.
Yes, it would.
But I honestly wouldn't mind seeing a special edition re-release of Episode 4 with a little bit of modern Vader
everywhere.
Modern Vader, modern Obi-Wan, and that'd be cool.
Yeah,
that
would be pretty
dope.
dope.
Other ones,
that would be dope.
Yeah.
All right, let me get back to what else some of the hyper moments of. Of course, the Clash of the Avengers was one of the hype moments. Batman cleaning the warehouse when he was rescuing Martha was a hype moment. Quicksilver in the mansion in X-Men Apocalypse, which may be the sole moment in that movie. For a lot of people.
Yeah,
might be the sole moment in that movie. Negan and Lucille in the season premiere of The Walking Dead, just seeing him just gleefully bash Glenn's head in, and what was his name? I forget his name. Abraham. Yeah, bashing both Glenn and Abraham's. I mean, he was doing it. He was just Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Whatever you want to say about dude can ham it up, man. Doom can have it up.
Well, he plays extremely charismatic bad guys all the time. Like, he played the comedian extremely well.
Absolutely.
The only time he played a quote unquote good guy was in The Losers, and even still, like, his character, I can't remember his name. I remember Idris Elba's character was Rogue. I forgot his name, but you know, still that same like sarcastic, you know, badass. So it's like it worked, and he's really good at doing those roles. And then, like I said, when they announced him for Negan, I'm like, okay, that's perfect, because he's the one that can handle that and make it funny but terrifying at the same time.
Right. All right. So real quick, you know, just to close it out, because we only got like 1 minute left. The best new TV show 2016. We had Stranger Things, The Exorcist, which I think a lot of people really like too. Westworld, Luke Cage, Atlanta. The People versus O.J. Simpson, Preacher, and This Is Us. Let's see. We also had the best anime of 2016, which ReZero, Starting Life in Another World, One Punch Man, JoJo's Bizarre Adventures, which I know would get Dido's vote, My Hero Academia, which also would get Dido's vote, Mob Psycho 100 as well.
So get my vote.
Wait. When did Dragon Ball Super start?
It started 2 years ago.
2 years ago, yeah.
Never mind. About to say, I heard that's all sorts of awesome.
Yeah, it is pretty good. It is pretty good. It's got its moments. It's got its bad moments too. But then of course, you know, the big one is the best movie of 2016, which is Deadpool, Batman vs Superman, Captain America, Civil War, Suicide Squad, and Rogue One. And you know, say what you will, what I don't know which one's going to come out on top, but I think it may surprise you, it may not, honestly. But in any case, that's the show, guys. I got to get out of here. I gotta run. I gotta make. But
I gotta finish moving.
Yeah, Dido's got to finish moving. GQ's got to finish his pizza and visiting with family. So we're gonna get out of here. Join us next week for the Culture Junkie Nation Awards. Make sure you go to culturejunkies.net and vote, and check out the website. Let us know what you think, and follow us on Twitter for any updates, and share with your friends and all that. So for GQ and for the great Adakuji, Miao Yin also, by the way, says hi. She tried to join the show. She couldn't quite make it, has some technical difficulties. We'll get that worked out, and she'll be back and joining us sometime soon. But in any case, guys, we hope you have a great rest of your week. Join us next week for the Culture Junkie Nation Awards. We'll see you later. Bye.
Peace, y'all.
Yeah. Bye.
Well, bye. right? Curly Bill.